It's a bird.
It's a plane!
It's the Glute Guys. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Glute Guys Network. Today, we're watching another video by Dr. Joel Seedman. He's a doctor of kinesiology, and he is going to be talking about how to fix neck pain. So,
We
what
thought
did I
it
tell you?
might be a little bit of fun to see what the differing doctors have to say. We got two DPTs going up against a PhD in kinesiology. Let's see if the sciences behind each degree agree or not.
And kinesiology is definitely a big part of physical therapy, so there's definitely going to be some overlap, but I think it'll be interesting to see our point of view working with people with pain all the time. I'm sure he does
Yeah,
every once in a while as well.
we had a
Um,
little bit more of the medical perspective, the
mhm.
biopsychosocial versus just the his might be a little bit more bio related. So let's take a look at what Dr. Joel Steedman has to say.
Let's get it going.
For years, I struggled with neck pain. Not only did I figure out how to resolve my own neck issues, but I've taught thousands of people how to do the same. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to fix your neck pain. Every year,
A
over
lot of
200
pointing.
million people suffer with neck pain.
I think just to start off, what was that, sir?
It's got a lot of pointing.
Yeah. I'm going to go to just us for a second.
No,
Neck pain
it's
is very much not a one quick fix for everything. Like different people have neck pain for different reasons. Sometimes that has to do with your shoulder. Sometimes that has to do with your
oh yeah.
neck. Sometimes that has to do with like emotion and stress. Like just saying, oh, these 5 exercises are always going to fix it. I don't like it when any, I guess, fitness page does that. Like any type of pain, there's not always one exercise that's going to fix it. There's always going to be a lot of different factors.
If you could fix neck pain and all types of neck pain in 5 minutes, just like how Dr. Joel Seedman's about to show us, me and Dr. Aaron wouldn't have jobs.
Yeah.
We would.
And that,
At least not neck pain jobs, and not hating on Dr. Seedman at
yeah.
all. He's definitely going to show hopefully like some we haven't watched it yet, but some informational stuff for us to go over. But
Yeah, and like there's gonna be exercise in here that like, people might try and they would probably help you, but just a disclaimer: it's not always gonna help everybody for every or for if they have neck pain. Let's see what he
yes,
says.
Related issues, and that number is only expected to grow every year. Not only does this affect people's quality of life as well as their performance at the job and on the playing field, but it triggers exorbitant medical costs for treatment. According to research, poor posture is one of the leading causes of neck pain, and that leads us into the practical application of how to fix your neck. We're going to start off with first addressing posture. The first exercise we're going to go over is going to address posture, and it's literally called the perfect posture exercise. And for this, I'm going to have fellow trainer and kinesiologist Jonathan Moore. He's going to help me demo this. Go ahead and let your posture slouch a little bit. This is pretty common. We often see a forward head tilt where the head is coming forward, and this is in the literature, one of the things that they show often is associated with neck pain. So with this, we want to start with good head position. He's going to retract his head, he's pushing it back, and he's keeping it nice and tall. He's not letting it cock back too much. Go ahead and show him what that looks like. Cock your head back too much. That's excessive. We also don't want it pushed down too much. Again, we just want it tall and retracted. Once that head position is in place, we're going to pull the shoulders down and back.
Sorry, I'm actually gonna pause quick already. I don't know if he's explaining this how I like. um, I think when people, first of all, people don't really know what retraction is. The way I sort of think of it, let me pop us up again, is you're basically staying in a flat plane, moving your head back and forth. Does that,
yeah.
like, he's basically saying to cock your head back, but yeah, I mean, he told us not to do this, but yeah, we don't want to do this. We don't want to do this. Even that little bit that he started with, that, let me see if I can pop it up real quick. Like
He
the
did
look,
some neck extension at first. So when he said retraction, he went and tilted his head. Even like right now, he's stuck in the little bit, the
yeah,
tiniest bit of extension. It's not. I wouldn't call it full retraction, but no, it's good head position. Needless to say.
yeah. I'm being very nitpicky, but posture is nitpicky.
And also, we're battling doctors right now. We got to talk about this. Is so he kind of went from here to here. To me, that's more of an extension. His, as you can see, my head is angled at the same level as his, and it's up. Versus if I'm here, and he asked me to do a retraction, I'm coming here.
Yeah, so you can
My chin isn't up.
Yeah, just comparing Dr. Tom right now. Oh, go back to that, Dr. Tom.
Ooh,
Oh yeah.
am I in the?
Oh, you're in it. You're not on the
Okay.
big screen right now. You want big screen? Or no, we
No,
want to have
no,
the
no.
other thing here. But just comparing Dr. Tom's chin here to this guy. This guy, right now, he's okay, but he was a little bit more elevated. Dr. Tom is still on that like flat plane. Like he is staying sort of level with his chin. We don't want that chin to come up at all.
No, just to show one more time. He started his posture right around here, and he asked him to do a retraction. He went here.
Mm-hmm.
That's an extension.
Yeah,
So off a little bit. I don't know if he fully understood what he was doing, but that's the retraction. The head should stay at the level playing field. And if I think what exercise we're about to go into, I'm curious to see what it looks like. But I'm going to take a wild guess that we're about to do a chin.
yeah. So right here, what I just pulled up is what he had before. His chin is still a little bit up. Like we said, we are being very nitpicky, but this isn't a complete retraction. It's retraction with a little bit of extension. There's some retraction in there.
PTs tend to be very nitpicky, nitpicky on posture and form. I won't lie, but let's roll and see what they dive into.
Yeah, I think we got up to here,
in
so
place,
let's continue.
We're going to pull the shoulders down and back.
I like
This
that.
is going to take tension off the neck and help engage the middle back and the lats, while simultaneously we want to make sure that core is activated by pulling it in nice and tight. And as you see there, it actually helps position his hips under his body. When tension is off the low back like this, it has a trickle effect all the way up the kinetic chain where there's actually less tension on the neck. And notice he's nasal breathing with a tight jaw, and that also helps take tension off the neck. This is an exercise that you can hold for 30 to 60
Sorry,
seconds.
I'm going to pause again. That's a lot of stuff to tell people to focus on all at one time.
Yeah, I thought we were nitpicky. He put him nitpicky on the low back, which he's not wrong. And it is a kinetic chain, of course. It's especially the spine. You got your vertebrae stacked on top of vertebrae. Of course, it's a kinetic chain. But that was a lot of focus. And basically, he's just asked them to stand up tall. To me, that's not an exercise. So the exercise has mobility. We're trying to kind of activate certain muscles. He just said, like, hey, you want to fix your posture and fix your neck pain? Stand in good posture for a minute. It's like, no, we should do that all the time.
Yeah, so I think this is a good tip. I guess it is sort of an exercise, but I actually say to people,
bad posture, it is.
Yeah, I say it to people all the time that posture isn't something that's going to be perfect all the time. Like posture is going to be bad sometimes. It's not the end of the world. It's just, if you notice you've been sitting in a bad posture for the last 30 minutes, sit up, like adjust your posture, make sure it's a little bit better.
Don't do that.
Yeah. Wait, what? What I said?
Don't do that. Yeah,
Yeah.
no. I'm saying don't do that. What you were just talking about. I'm messing around with.
Yeah.
But go on. Sorry.
Yeah. If you have bad posture, sometimes it's not the end of the world. Readjust. Get into different positions. There's nothing wrong with being in a position as long as you're not there for 3 hours.
Yeah. Exactly. You catch it every once in a while. If you're more mindful of it, even if you just change it, you have to change it 100% of the time. Even Dr. Aaron and I are guilty when we're typing our notes that we kind of start to lean forward and hunch when we're typing. So it happens. It's natural. It's human. But if you change it another 5-10% of the time, that's going to be an extra amount of weight that comes off of your neck, off of your back. You'll start to feel even the slightest little bit better.
Yeah, when you activate those muscles more, they tend to work more. They tend to get stronger and get used to those positions. So even like we said, just throughout the day, thinking about it a little bit more often, like not all the time, it'll be okay. It'll work out. You'll be okay, people.
But if you don't do it all the time, Dr. Joel Seedman is watching you.
Still on the multiple times per day. You can just relax now, and it's something that you can do many times. The more you do it, the better, because this is just a very therapeutic exercise. The second exercise is called sheathing the sword. Jonathan's going to help me demonstrate this. Go ahead and get in position. He's going to stack his hands 45 degrees like he's sheathing or getting ready to pull out a sword, and he's going to set that perfect posture. From there, he's going to raise one arm up at 45 degrees and the other arm down to his side at 45 degrees. As he's doing that, he's literally squeezing this left lat to help release tension in this side of his neck. And the more he drives this arm up while keeping the shoulders down, the more he's going to feel that left side of his neck release. At this point, he's going to pull back into his starting position. He'll flip the hands and he's going to move into his next rep. He's holding these for 5 to 10 seconds each. He's going to do 3 to 4 repetitions per side. The next exercise we're going to do is a foundational movement.
Pause that for a second.
Let me just think this one through.
I don't hate the exercise. I disagree slightly with the biology and the kinesiology and the mechanics behind it. When you're doing that exercise, he's saying that when the arm's up in the air, so my right arm is up in the air, it might be the left for you guys, I'm sorry. The opposite side is getting released because the lat is pulling down, which you are activating that lat. But to me, you're not really releasing the upper trap. That upper trap still has to be activated in order to stabilize the shoulder. You just got to make sure you're not overactivating and shrugging.
The shoulder that's down, you're saying, is still activated?
Yeah, that upper trap is still going to be activated. If it's not activated, then it has to help stabilize it. To me, this is a lower trap exercise.
I guess what he's thinking, if he's thinking that you're activating the lats, then is the upper traps an antagonist muscle to the lats? Sort of.
It helps with depression of the shoulder. Kind of. It doesn't have a direct attachment.
Yeah, the lats don't really attach to the scapula.
No.
So
it can help depress the shoulder, of course. But it's not doing it via the scapula, which is why I'm saying, for this exercise, that upper trap is still activated because you have to still stabilize your scapula. And how is it doing that?
Especially
based off of the upper trap. Especially
if you're actively moving, you're gonna probably have some activation of the upper trap. I think what he's trying to say is you don't want to do this. Maybe you don't want to be shrugged up while you're doing this. You want to be in more of an upright position.
I just didn't like the wording, the verbiage of it. You're going to deactivate that side and allow it to open up. No, all you're doing is you're stretching the upper trap and allowing that to open up that side of the cervical spine in hopes that, hopefully they don't have an overactive upper trap. But in the same sense, with this motion, the side that's down, yes, you're activating the lat, but if you really want to focus on deactivating that upper trap, even mine's activated right now, but if you want to deactivate it, in this case, lengthen it out a little bit, it's more so your lower trap that you're focusing on. You want to pull that sucker back down and depress it. Downward rotation.
I'm also just not a fan of deactivating a muscle. I think we actually talked about this in the podcast with Ryan Hollis. Go watch it. The theory that your muscles can be turned on and off for different reasons. In a case like this, in order for a muscle to have no activation in it whatsoever, usually there's a neuro problem. The muscles almost always are activated in some form, shape, or form. Do you know what I mean?
Don't mind me being an idiot. As I'm sitting here thinking, I said downward rotators, the lower trap's an upward rotator. I'm brain farting. I worked all day. My brain is firing.
But what about what I said? Because I mattered the most.
I thought about that for a second. I was I pondered for a second on that, but I did. I was listening to you too. I apologize. Go on.
No, I'm just joking. But yeah, as far as activation or deactivating, do you think that, especially when we're actively moving, do you think there's ever a point when any one muscle is completely deactivated? That's what I'm saying. You don't really deactivate anything ever. If you do, you probably have a neuro issue.
Yeah, it becomes less active, but you still have to hold a certain amount of tone and tension in a muscle. And that tone and tension is important, especially for the shoulder that relies mostly on muscles for stability. So you're not going to deactivate the upper trap completely. You're going to lessen the activity, which maybe that's what he's trying to get at in layman's terms, so this way it doesn't get confusing. But yeah, you want to have the shoulder more so depressed. To me, still, I'm thinking that he's activating the lower trap, which is going to help reposition the scapula in a way that isn't allowing the upper trap to get so strong. The lower trap muscle is another part of the trap that is oftentimes much weaker than the middle and the upper trap. And if it's not active enough, it lets it kind of tip up in a way.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's continue.
The best things you can do to help with neck pain. Jonathan's going to demonstrate a seated row, and we're going to walk through what this should look like. So for here, we just want to set that posture again. Again, we're starting with perfect posture. Shoulders down and back, stomach in, head tall and retracted. His arms are going to start fully extended, and then he's going to pull, but he's only going to pull as far as he can without losing this perfect posture, and that will be a roughly 90-degree joint angle position. He's going to extend back to his starting position while keeping that perfect posture, and from here he should actually feel like his middle upper back are engaged, so much so that he feels tension releasing in his neck and in his traps. And again, the more you activate the back, the more you're going to release tension in this region here, but it all starts with perfect posture.
All right. What do we think on that?
It's not going to release tension there. I don't like those words. It's not releasing tension. All you're doing with this exercise is just strengthening those lower muscles underneath to allow you to hold better posture.
Yeah, we definitely don't want to do this, like you said, so we want to keep good posture. I mean, you're still going to use some of the traps. You're going to use the middle and lower traps when you're doing this. I know he just means upper traps, which is what most people think of. Yeah, I don't know.
Some could argue with this exercise, like if you do a certain amount of weight, you can also feel an increase in tension because of those muscles are still going to pull down. You're still going to have tension in the upper trap. It is promoting good posture. I don't hate the exercise. Again, I just don't like the verbiage and the wording that he's using. And I think he's just using that wording and verbiage to just as an attention grabber in a way. And I understand what he means by it's like, oh, it's going to decrease tension. Yeah, because you're not supposed to be firing these muscles so much, and everybody does.
Yeah, so that I actually agree with. I do. It's going to actually, it will take some pressure off the traps if you're using proper technique and you're not doing a lot of this. Believe it or not, I actually, let me see if I can get myself in the right position here. I actually don't mind the shoulders coming forward and coming through when you're doing this exercise. Only because like I was saying before with posture, like we are meant to move. We don't have to stick in the same thing all day long. Like no one's actually going to stick like this. Like it's okay to get stronger in different positions. And a lot of times too, when you focus so much on being perfectly stiff the whole time, people start to get nervous when they have to do things that you're not in the perfectly stiff position. Like we actually want our back to be strong when we're rounded a little bit. We want it to be strong when it's straighter. You might not be as strong with certain things, but it's still good for your body to be strong in different positions.
Yeah. I mean, when it comes down to it, Aaron and I want to say almost every freaking episode, Aaron, who he just preached that movement is medicine. I understand for like his purposes, like, okay, we're maintaining good posture and working the muscles there. I don't think that has to be the only way you have to do this. It's a good exercise for, we call it isometric, where you're holding that pose and also adding a dynamic component of moving the arms. So it serves a purpose, but I agree with Aaron. I like when my patients also can do the dynamic portion too. So practice this, and when you feel comfortable, you can add in the dynamic portion of allowing the full movement of the shoulders.
Yeah,
but also, I don't really agree with stopping at the 90 degrees.
What did he say with the elbows at 90?
Yeah, he said like stop until you can't really.
You're gonna break the posture. Make your elbow, make a right angle with your elbow. I know we can't see the whole thing, people. Calm down if you're annoying. But yeah, I agree with that. I think that like we want to go through our full range of motion. That's basically what I was saying. We want to go all the way back. We want to go all the way forward. That's not a bad thing. That's just using our muscle through the full range that it can work.
Yeah, you want to train them to be able to move. If you don't train them to move, then again, another cliche, but if you don't use it, you lose it.
Mm-hmm.
Might not happen now, but give it 5, 10, 15 years from now, then.
Let's continue.
The fourth exercise we have is another staple movement. It's going to be a simple lat pull down. Jonathan's going to demonstrate this. Done correctly, a lat pull down is one of the best exercises to help treat neck pain. Again,
I'm going to pause real quick. Again, sorry, people. So, Tommy, we're on the big screen again. Okay. We'll do a quick little education section. One term or two terms that we learned in physical therapy school are show muscles and go muscles. Show muscles are the big muscles that go over multiple joints. Go muscles are the small muscles that keep everything stable. So there are a lot of times muscles that people don't hear about when they go to the gym, like the multifidi or the paraspinal muscles. Big muscles are the lats. Lat activation usually doesn't help with posture because it's going over multiple joints. It doesn't make it stable bit by bit. I'm trying to think of the example that we used to use in school. I think a decent example is like if you're going over one of those wooden bridges that has planks on each side. If each plank is not connected to the next one, it's probably just going to fall apart. And those the ropes connecting each plank are, like we said, the multifidi, the other muscles that I'm blanking on. The lats are like the rope that goes across the whole thing that's not really connected to anything. So it's there, it helps with stability a little bit, but it's not going to really hold it together. So us activating the lats most likely isn't going to improve the posture.
No, and he's not wrong in the sense like when done correctly, can it help you with like your neck pain? Maybe because you're adding in the stability component of holding the neck in the correct position while adding in the dynamic component of doing something that's more intensive. But if you have neck pain and pretty severe neck pain, it's likely this is actually going to make it worse. He added, depending again on how much weight and stuff you're using, you can add in a lot of pressure and tension on your spine when you're doing an exercise like this. So depending on the client, like if I were someone who's older who had neck pain and saw this and went to go try it, it's likely it's going to hurt me more.
And also, one thing that we always have to take into account is if the neck has issues, a lot of times the shoulders might have issues as well. So even getting into this position, especially for an older patient, is going to be pretty tough to do. And it might even be painful too for the shoulders, thus affecting the neck as well. So,
and I mean, he has the right idea of like trying to like, deactivate or like de-stress some of the larger, what Aaron was calling our show muscles that, add in stress to like our neck. But he hasn't really touched on some of the important postural muscles, which I thought would be very cool and interesting to see, like an education piece, like your deep cervical neck flexors. Those are the fancy term for it's a group of 4 muscles that help with our posture. In their specific motion, they actually sit in the front of our neck and they help us retract and keep everything up and nice and tall on a pillar for us. So that's what I was kind of expecting to see so far. And instead, we've seen some more just gym-based exercises that I'm sure everybody who has neck pain has been doing so far and still has neck pain.
Yeah, and I don't know if I said it yet, but it is still good to be like able to hold these postures and be stable with them. I'm just saying that we move in a lot of different ways. So maybe do that for a set. Maybe have your shoulders moving a little bit more, your neck moving a little bit more. Like we want to be stable in one position and we want to be able to move through other positions too.
Yeah.
Shall we continue?
Let's keep it rolling.
And he's going to assume that perfect posture position with the shoulders down and back, chest out, stomach in, head tall, and he's simply going to pull down while tucking the elbows forward. Now that's roughly as far as you'll be able to go while keeping this perfect posture. If he goes further, he's going to actually feel his traps elevate too much. He's going to feel tension go into the neck. When he stops at roughly that 90-degree position with his elbows tucked, he's going to feel those upper back and lats engage, thereby taking tension off of the neck. The 5th and final exercise we're going to do is called a cross body over.
I don't know if I expected him to say do half reps for lat pull downs. I don't shrug when I do a lat pull down. I just did a lat pull down and I didn't shrug.
Down. Everything
This is why weight matters though too. Like if you're doing a heavy weight, maybe you're gonna strain more to get it down. But if you're just like, doing for posture, which really shouldn't be a heavy weight, it should be more for repetitions and stability and like doing it for a long time. We're not gonna shrug. Why would you shrug when you do a lat pull down? That's just the opposite direction.
That's just bad form. And again, like we're nitpicky, going back, physical therapy, very nitpicky. I have patients do lat pull downs from time to time when we start to progress more and they're able to hold certain postures with lighter grade exercises and say, okay, hey, let's try some of these gym-based exercises. And when they pull, we're pulling straight down. Not once do I ever see, that means you're not ready for it. And you shouldn't have to stop at a half rep of 90. You can do the full rep and pull all the way down. Get the arms to go down, finish the motion of the lat. But also again, the lat.
Sorry. You go.
No, that's okay. I would say the lat doesn't really have that much to do with cervical posture. It's going to affect the thoracic and your lumbar posture, which, okay, that can affect your neck posture, but I don't know.
Let's continue.
Overhead hold, and it's somewhat of a progression of the second exercise we did with the sheathing the sword exercise. And you're going to see that here as Jonathan's going to go ahead and drive one arm overhead, and he's going to keep the other arm pulled down. In this exercise, as he's driving this arm up as hard as he can while keeping perfect posture, that's going to cause the other shoulder to pull down and back. He's going to switch sides here after he holds for 10 seconds. He's going to drive this arm up as hard as he can with perfect posture, and that's going to cause this shoulder to depress or pull down, and that's going to help release a lot of tension on this side of the neck. And honestly, in terms of quick
Hey, Dr. Aaron, I don't know if you can see this. I'm driving my arm up as hard as I can. If you can imagine, the other arm
guys that you're
isn't doing anything. I feel bad. I don't want to hate on it, but it's like that's not.
Yeah, you don't
If anything,
depress
you're
your
going to
shoulder.
shrug that. If you're depressing it, then you're actually forcing the lat active again, and you're going to actually mess up the posture of the cervical spine. You're giving it. You're taking the stability aspect.
Like what he's saying again is something you do with a super heavy weight, which you're not really doing if you want posture. I have done this when I've done a heavy single arm press. But if you're just doing something for posture and stability, you're not going to do something so heavy that you actually depress that shoulder, or else you're not really working on posture.
No, it's. I don't know. I think that what he gave us, and you can't do these exercises in 5 minutes, not correctly. This isn't. It's a 5-minute video, but it's 5 exercises.
I mean, you could.
Yeah.
You might not get a benefit from it.
No, now my neck hurts more. But no, he gave us 5 good exercises for somebody who's more active, who doesn't really have neck pain, who wants to work on posture and stability with half reps. I'm kidding, but still, and with adding in stability and dynamic mobility. I don't hate the exercises. It's not that. I just don't think it's for the right population of people with neck pain. Like Aaron, like you mentioned before, there's so many different types of neck pain. So this just kind of generalized it, and I felt it was more kind of just of a grabby, like, oh, I'm going to get this population to watch this video.
Let's see if there's anything else in this last little bit
pretty
here.
much wrap this up. And just to reiterate, I have used these exact exercises on thousands of clients, and without fail,
Wait.
it's worked to help transform and fix neck pain, and I guarantee.
Okay, so let's go back to us. Without fail, it's worked to fix neck pain. Okay, let's say you had 1,000 people and it worked on one person. You can say that because it fixed neck pain one time.
I just want to ask if I hope that he said thousands of clients with neck pain. Is he just a doctor of kinesiology? That's not a medical license to treat neck pain, in my opinion. So,
well, yeah, but
we might want to be careful on the claims.
There's gonna always be personal trainers and stuff like that, and I guess doctors of kinesiology that help people work with their pain. And there's gonna honestly be some that are good at it and some that are bad at it. But yeah, that is something maybe not in his wheelhouse.
Yeah, it's more fitness related things. I mean, all I kind of saw on his YouTube is that he's a personal trainer, fitness influencer who has a PhD in kinesiology, which is fantastic. That's awesome. But we can't be treating neck pain, especially when we don't understand the medicine behind it. So I don't like that he said that. That I wouldn't go to a kinesiologist for it.
Yeah, so we see a lot with personal trainers. I'm just gonna say personal trainers in general, saying that they're gonna fix your pain. And to be completely honest, they might sometimes, because a lot of times people just don't move enough, and a personal trainer will make you move, and you'll probably feel better just moving around and activating muscles. But it shouldn't really be your first choice. Like, you should try to see a professional that knows what they're doing, that works with these people for a living, that sees that, looks at it from different avenues and doesn't treat everyone with the exact same exercises. Like, if I treated everybody with the same exercises, no one would get better. Or maybe one person would get better, but all these other people would be like have stuff that was missed out on. Like we mentioned the shoulders being a big part of it. If you're not also strengthening the shoulders, everything around it, it's possible that you miss things. Like it's not as simple as 5 exercise. Like it's always a slippery slope when you see anything online that says this is the fix all. This is going to be the best thing for everybody.
Yeah, there's never a quick fix. I mean, there are at times moments where I have had patients come in and they have neck pain, and I work on them for a session or two, and bang, the neck pain's gone. And okay, yeah, it seemed like a quicker fix, but it's never. Then we have to work on, all right, what caused the neck pain? It might relieve it for a moment, but we got to make sure it doesn't come back now.
Mm-hmm.
Something like this is just, to me, a gimmicky grab to get people to watch the video, to get viewers and followers on something that isn't necessarily going to help them.
Yeah, so I think
Like you said, if he
overall,
uses all these exercises on people and it's helping them, I want to meet these thousands of clients.
yeah, and like we said, there probably are some people that felt better with it, but you can't just generalize that everyone's going to feel better with these exercises. It does bother me a lot when a lot of fitness YouTubers or Instagrammers or things like that are saying this, when a lot of times like people need other things. It's not just one simple thing. I think that's it for the day, sir. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so too. I think that if you have neck pain, that you seek out a doctor, a physical, that you seek out a medical doctor, a doctor of osteopathic medicine, or a physical therapist, or a chiropractor to help with it. And take it from there. Be careful if you're going to try it, and seek professional help with it instead.
I would say, go to the physical therapist or the medical doctor first, but
Yeah.
I'll stop right there.
I want to leave all the options out. I'm not trying to create hate here. It is what it is. I don't want to be biased there.
A story for another day.
But you should subscribe to this video now.
If you don't subscribe,
This is
Dr. Tom.
The Seedman finger.
If you don't subscribe, Dr. Tom is going to have to sleep on the couch tonight.
I'm not coming back. This is the last episode then, and I'm going to just stay on my trip.
And with that, have a nice night, everybody.